This is going to be a fun week. Longest road trip of the season. Minimum 14 hours, most of it on a bus with hockey players all the way up to Prince George, where it's currently minus 20. Play in Prince George Friday. Go down to Chilliwack to play there Saturday, which is 8 hours away from Prince George. This is going to be a lot of fun. Welcome back to Kings This Week. My name is Jordan Kiss, and a lot to get to on this week's episode. Of course, we got 3 games to recap from the past weekend, 2 more games to preview here coming up. We got some news on season tickets for next season, and also going to share the details on a new promotion we got coming up for 2 of our final 4 home games. So let's get right to it. It's our weekend recap. It was a 3-game weekend for the Kings, with one of those 3 games being played here at home, which took place on Friday as they took on the Vernon Vipers for the one and only time this season. We'll pick this one up early in the first period, right after a Vipers power play expired, 3:25, and Lee Parks put in the shot to give Vernon the early 1-0 lead. Then they would make it 2-0, 9:43. Regan Milburn sneaking behind the Kings D on a breakaway goes 5-hole on Kyle Metzen, his 14th, as the Vipers took a 2-goal lead going into the second period. It would be a quick start for the Kings in the second. 2:46. Carter McNarland rips one here, bar down over Ethan David, his 9th. 2-1 Vernon. Then 7:21, Anthony Yu with the man all over him, able to muscle it over the goal line, his 14th of the season, as the Kings came back and tied it 2-2. But hold on, 14:49 into the second period, Vipers power play. Hank Cleaves with a one-timer from the right circle scores his 9th, as the Vipers were up 3-2 going into the third period. Kings, a super resilient bunch in this one. 2:55 on a power play of their own. Jack Blanchett, right from his office, wires it in for his 12th, back to a tie game 3-3. Then at 10:15 on another Vipers power play, off the rush, Julian Facinelli, he shoots, he scores, roofs it over Metzen to give the Vipers a 4-3 advantage. But hold on, the Kings coming back again, 13-19. Sam Schoenfeld with the wrist shot from the blue line, tipped in by Adam Mendelson, his 6th, as we're back to a tie 4-4. The Vipers would get another lead, however, 18-17, under 2 minutes to go, 2-on-1. Regan Milburn shoots it, rebound to Lee Parks, puts it in, his 2nd of the game, as the Vipers jump in front 5-4 with just over a minute and a half to play. But the Kings battling hard. Offensive zone face-off under a minute left. Won by Anthony Lucarelli. Goes to Ryder Ringer. First shot stopped. Gets the puck back. Puts it in. Scores his 7th with 46 seconds to go, as the Kings tie it up and send this game into overtime. In OT, it would be a great extra period for the Kings, outshooting the Vipers 6-1, but were unable to solve Ethan David, who made a lot of key saves to send this game into a shootout. Now, first shooter in the shootout would be Alex Sandu, 2 for 2 for the Kings this season, pulling off the same move we've seen before. Almost had David beat, as he just reaches out with the leg to keep it out off the goal line. As we would head into the final shooter here, scoreless, it would be Connor Elliott for the Vipers with a chance to win it, and he would make no mistake, making a great move past Kyle Metzen to seal this one for his team. A 6-5 Vipers win in a shootout, but the Kings coming back from multiple deficits to pick up a well-earned point. So a tough one on Friday, as the Kings would then have to make a quick turnaround as they headed to Alberni for a road game against the Bulldogs on Saturday. It would be the 3rd meeting in 4 games between these 2 teams, with both of them splitting games here at the Hap in a doubleheader last weekend. We'll pick this one up in the second period after a scoreless first. It'll be a loose puck in front of the Kings net. Ethan Bona would put it in 2 minutes into the second for his 15th to give Alberni the early advantage. But the Kings would answer on a power play just over a minute later. Casey Amon with a wrist shot finds its way through traffic past Toby Hedquist, his 7th, back to a tie game 1-1. And 4 minutes after that, 2-on-1 here for Alberni. Owen Desilets with a shot from the left circle and scores his 1st of the season, as Alberni took a 2-1 lead going into the third period. Now in the third, the Bulldogs would keep on rolling. 1:38 on a power play. Cam Van Sickle turns and fires one through the wickets. His 15th, 3-1 Bulldogs. Then just over a minute after that, Matt Kersonis with the snipe here past the blocker of Metzen. His 7th, to give Alberni the 4-1 lead. Now the Kings kept on pressing. Cam Simons, a glorious opportunity here, but robbed by the paddle of Hobie Hedquist, who made 39 saves in this game. Nick Beneteau would add one more, though, for Alberni at 19:26 to make it a 5-1 victory, as the Kings, this would be the 7th straight game the Kings have given up 5 goals against. Now, Sunday would mark the end of the 3-game road swing for the Kings as they headed into Duncan for the final time this season to take on the Capitals, who they were 3-1 against on the year, as they look to finish off the weekend on a high and pick up 3 out of a possible 6 points. We'll pick this one up 4:36 into the first period. Matthew Biros through with the shot past a screened Liam Vanderkoy, his first of the season, to make it 1-0 Cowichan. But the Kings would tie it 2 minutes later. Alexi Van Hook-Cachero feeding Adam Mendelson in the front, tucks it around the pad of Lucas Renaud, his 7th, back to a tie, game 1-1. Then 15:23, Casey Yeoman picking up the puck in the offensive zone, does a full lap, then finds Cardinal McNarland in front, who taps it in for his 10th. What a setup from the captain, as the Kings took a 2-1 lead heading into the second period. Then in the second, the Capitals would even the score 7-12. Former King Capitals captain Ian Kern with the shot underneath Liam Vanderkoy, his 4th on the year. Then late in the second period, the Kings would regain the lead on a power play. Anthony Yu cross-ice to Anthony Lucarelli through the 5-hole of Lucas Renaud, as Lucarelli ties his goal total from last season, ties the team lead in goals with Anthony Yu at 14, and also be the 4th straight game the Kings have scored a power play goal, as they took a 3-2 lead heading into the third period. Then into the third, they would extend that lead to 2. Casey Yeoman again finding Carter McNarland, this time backdoor as he one-times it in for his 11th of the season. 4-2 Kings, then 8-0-4, 4-on-4 scenario. Parker Lalonde to Carter McNarland, wires it in to finish off the hat trick. The first hat trick by King this season, and the first hat trick since October of 2021, when Carter McNarland did it against the Cranbrook Bucks at the BCHL Showcase, as they jumped up to a 5-2 lead, which would end up being the final score, as the Kings pick it up win number 14 in this game, surpassing their win total from last season. So overall, a very good weekend for the Kings as they pick up 3 of 6 points, 1-1-1 record, as they again surpassed their win total from last season, now with 14, as with 11 games remaining, they have a record of 14-23-3-3, as they have increased their cushion in the Coastal Conference, now 7 points up on the 8th place Langley Rivermen, and 11 points up on 9th place the Cowichan Valley Capitals, as just 2 spots remain to be determined in the Coastal Conference, as 1 through 6 have clinched. A couple accolades from the weekend, as Carter McNarland was named a honorable mention in the BCHL 3 Stars of the Week, 4 goals and 1 assist in the 3 games, and also right now Jack Blanchett and Ryder Ringer currently riding 4-game point streaks, as the Kings now back on the road this weekend for 2 games in a long road trip. First on Friday, the Kings in Prince George to take on the Spruce Kings for the one and only time this season. The Spruce Kings right now 4th in the Interior Conference with a record of 23-16-4-1 on the season. They have clinched their playoff spot and just 1 point behind the West Kelowna Warriors right now for 3rd place. So that will be a 7 o'clock game from Copart Memorial Arena. The Spruce Kings coming off 2 games at the BCHL Roadshow last weekend in Burns Lake against the Salmon Arm Silverbacks. It was an OT loss on Saturday, and then a come from behind victory on Sunday where they won 4-3. Then on Saturday, the Kings will make the long trip down to Chilliwack to take on the Chiefs. That will be a 6 o'clock start from the Chilliwack Coliseum. It'll be the 4th and final meeting against Chilliwack this season, with the Chiefs taking all 3 meetings so far, but 2 of those games have gone to extra time, including the 1 game in Chilliwack, which was a shootout victory for the Chiefs, as the Chiefs right now 5th place in the Coastal Conference, part of that big clump between 3 through 6 right now, as they have clinched their playoff spot with a record of 22-18-0-3 on the season, just 3 points back of 4th place Coquitlam. So still a big game for both teams, as right now the Kings' magic number is 9 points to clinch a playoff spot. It's been a fun year of Kings hockey, but lots more hockey still to be played. But it's also maybe time to start thinking about next season. Right now, you can get your season tickets at a special early bird price of $2.99. That's right. Season tickets for next year starting at $2.99 for a adult ticket. Now, that early bird offer runs until May 31st. And in that offer, we have another offer as well. Because if you purchase, renew, or put a $100 deposit towards season tickets for next year by April 4th, we'll toss in tickets for our first 2 playoff games. That's right. Get your season tickets by April 4th, and you can witness the first 2 playoff games here at the HAP since 2020. So that, again, offer runs until April 4th. Early bird price runs until May 31st. Now, there's also plenty of other incentives as well for season ticket holders for next season, as you will now be eligible to receive discounts at a number of businesses around town. Currently, if you have a season ticket for next season, you'll be eligible for a 10% off at Pan and Go Pizza, 10% off at Armitage Menswear, and 10% off our merchandise store here at King Street at the Hap Parker Arena. So right now you can go to PowellRiverKings.com/season tickets for more information, or you can stop by our office as well to maybe ask us some questions that you may have. So early bird price runs until May 31st at $2.99 for an adult season ticket. And if you get them by April 4th, we'll toss in tickets to our first 2 playoff games. Now, there's no better combo than hockey and beer. It is perfect. What more could you want? Which is why we're throwing those two together in a new promotion. $20 ticket and a beer. That's right. For our final 2 Saturday games here during the regular season, you pay $20. We'll give you a ticket to the game, and we'll also give you a nice cold beer as well. So that promotion will run Saturday, March 4th, Billet Appreciation Night against the Victoria Grizzlies at 7 o'clock, and Saturday, March 18th at 5 o'clock against Couch in our final regular season home game. You must be 19 years of age to purchase, and also the offer is only available at the box office on game days. You cannot buy this deal online. You cannot buy it a week before, the day before. You have to buy it at our box office the day of. $20 gets you a ticket and a beer to our final 2 Saturday home games. And we have completed another episode of Kings This Week. As always, thank you very much for joining me. An update on the Dream Lottery, as the deadline is less than a month away. Right now, the jackpot is over $31,000. So go to PowellRiverKings.com, hit the Dream Lottery tab up top to get your Dream Lottery tickets before it's too late. Now, this weekend, the Kings again back on the road for 2 games. Friday in Prince George at 7 o'clock against the Spruce Kings. Then Saturday, 6 o'clock in Chilliwack against the Chiefs. You can join me for all the action and all the coverage on the Kings Broadcast Network with the pregame show starting 15 minutes prior to puck drop. Now, when the Kings return home, it will be a new month. It will be March. Friday, March 3rd, Western Night presented by Rural Septic Services, 7 o'clock against the Grizzlies. First 500 fans in the building will receive a free mini stick. There will also be a toonie draw for a Yeti cooler, and we'll also be giving away a family prize pack during one of our intermission games. So get tickets for your next Kings home game at tickets.powellriverkings.com. And that should be everything. As always, thank you very much for joining me. My name is Jordan Kiss. We'll see you next time. Go Kings, go.